Hey everyone, so I just watched Evil Dead Rise the other day with a friend of mine, and I was so excited for this, considering the 2013 remake was so good, and from the trailers, this looked on par and the same line and tone of the remake. And the remake was directed by Fed Alvarez, I think, something like that, and this is Lee Cronin's film, so two different directors. Um, and they feel similar enough. So I did enjoy it, although I thought that the opening, honestly, is the most brutal part of the whole movie because I think, in comparison, again, it's, you know, a little watered down, honestly, by a lot. I think that had a lot to do with the kids involved. I mean, you can't, I mean, I guess you could, but in today's time, you can't be too violent with a kid, a child with child cast in it. Um, and if that's what held it back, um, fine. But there was plenty of opportunities for them to have more brutal deaths with the residents in the building. Um, and it really it happens. I mean, you can tell from the uh, trailer where it's going, but I feel like it's either off camera or um, not enough for my liking. Because like I said, the 2013 it did not hold back at all. You know, there's people getting their hands split open from a crowbar or cutting their arm off with a turkey electric carving knife, or you know, one of the demons slitting their tongue open. You know, lots of different stuff visually. And the practical effects were great, and I think they're great here as well. Except for there's a few little CGI parts I think that stood out like a sore thumb. Um, Overall, I think that this really I wasn't as invested because for one, like I said, there is a lot of off camera kills. And the cheese grater has been so hyped up that it's really not much to it. Um, like I said, the opening is the most visual we see throughout the whole film, and even then, I think the opening is pretty weak, honestly. Like I've thought it. What you call it? I feel like it peaked too soon, really. And that's really the best we have gotten on screen in the film, pretty much. Aside from, you know, when it comes time to kill the demons, it's fine. But I also feel like the humans in it, it's just not there, really. And that's unfortunate. So now I'm going to get into some spoilers, um, because that's really just what I have to do to talk to more about it. So if you don't want to be spoiled, turn this off and come back. But yeah, so again with the child actors in it involved, I felt like they held back a lot for that reason. And there's only one part I cringed was when um, one of the kids was swallowing glass, and you see it protruding from her neck, and that's only because I swallowed a sharp potato chip before. I know how you know how that feels, so you can imagine glass. Um, but really, I think throughout the whole film, it was cliche after cliche when it comes to supernatural films, and it wasn't enough for me. I wanted more. Like I thought the ending should have taken place down below in that little realm or whatever where the book was found. Um, I thought that would be more satisfying and eerie. Um, I did like the build up with the record um, being played with the little chant or whatever you want to call it, or um, that was pretty good. But everything after that, I thought could have been better, like a lot better. Um, like more gore. Um, I thought the actress Alisa, whatever her name was good. I thought the other adult actress was good as well. The child actors, I didn't feel like they were all that immersed in it or all that good, really, honestly. The little girl didn't seem scared enough, and the other two were just kind of there, I thought. And, uh, yeah, like, it was, I had a lot of hype for it too, so maybe that's why. Um, but I was also overhyped as well. Um, and I just wasn't um, into it as much as I'd hoped. Um, like there's callbacks, to the other Evil Dead films and other 80s franchises and all, horror, but I just, it wasn't enough for me, honestly. um, but when it comes to like the practical effects, again, they did good. That's why I wanted more of it, like they totally, like, they could have made up for it with the killings of the neighbors or whatever in the building. But it doesn't even show it. And I thought that was really unfortunate. I missed opportunity because that's what we're here for. Um, and, there is the obvious callback to The Shining with the blood falling out of the elevator. That was, you know, cool. A cool shot, but was pretty much um, obvious callback to The Shining. A little too on the nose. And it just wasn't as intense. I was kind of like just like there, like I wasn't like on the edge of my seat really. I wasn't um wondering what was going to happen next because I knew from the beginning that they were going to hold it back for the kids' sake, which I think is kind of like why would they have them in there if that's the reason to hold back? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, eh, like I enjoyed it. It's just like I said, the intro was weak. I thought the title coming up behind the trees was a little corny. Um, and really, it still don't make sense the way the story flows. Like it's supposed to be. That's the intro is the ending of what happened before all the whole film started really, and it makes sense that's why the demon would be there because it followed her from the building. But it don't make sense why the book would be there because it doesn't show her taking it or anything. Um, I guess she did because it ended up being there, but it didn't show it either. Um, and uh, yeah, I just think that if they're gonna make sequels, from this director, I really hope they step it up like a lot because, like I said, I felt like a lot was missing from it. Um, there wasn't as much suspense or tension. Um, like the building itself is like a big horror cliche because it's like haunted looking and falling apart, crumbling, and like who would live there to begin with? And I feel like the ending was anticlimactic. Like, I could appreciate what they did, and like that was, I feel like a callback to the thing. Um, and it reminded me of the Spider Girl or whatever from Evil Within. video game. That was a pain in the ass to try to beat. But that's pretty much it, really, as far as my thoughts about the film. So, yeah, there's that.